My name is Belinda Wasser, also known as Rocket Girl. Today, we're going to talk about avoiding the wrong clients. When you're a virtual assistant, every once in a while, you'll have to fire a client. And I have to say, the only thing worse than that is working with a client that's the wrong client for you. So today we're going to talk about some tips and tricks for how to make sure you don't get hired by the people who are not the best fit for you. I call these red flags. This is probably a phrase you've heard in the past. All right, the first red flag when talking with a potential client is that the number one thing that they are focused on is how much it's going to cost. The reason that this is a red flag is because in my experience, when people lead with money and not the value or the experience they're looking for or even the result, money is typically part of the conversation all the time. These are clients who will comment repeatedly about how much the project is costing them. So that is a red flag for me. The other red flag is they want to be convinced. They're not really sure. They think they might need help. Bad idea. Because my experience is if you have to convince someone once, you're going to have to convince them over and over and over. And that is not a job that you want to have. Another red flag is I don't feel like they're really listening to me. You know, they're running kind of their own agenda and they're talking over me. And I don't feel like they're listening. Now, let me tell you why some of these are so important. The 30-minute consultation, when you're talking to someone to find out if they're the right client for you, this is where you're going to use these tips. And that's kind of like a first date. And think about it. On a first date, everyone's hair is combed, everyone's looking good, they've got their special shoes on, right? So if during this special date for your business, these things are happening, it's only going to get worse because people relax and get more comfortable, right? And they become sort of more of themselves. The other thing that is a giant red flag is they are in an emergency. And so let's talk about this for a couple of minutes. This is the trap that I've fallen into a few too many times. Someone comes to me, and it's even worse when you know them, when they're a friend or you know them in some way. They come to you, they're on fire, they have a big emergency, and they need you to help them. So this happened to me probably about 3 or 4 months ago. And what happened was I said, sure, I would be happy to help you. And then I explained how my pricing worked and that they would need to buy 5 hours because I don't waver no matter what on how my pricing works. And I never heard from them again. So someone who is in an emergency typically doesn't have the time to be rolled properly into your business. And that's not a good idea. The other thing is we're training our clients how we work and how everything will work the best. And if I start the relationship by solving an emergency, I have a feeling that might be a lifestyle choice for that particular client and that they are having emergencies all the time. So that's become a red flag for me. The last thing is, probably sounds kind of funny, they don't work at a desk. For my particular virtual assistant business, RocketGirl Solutions, I prefer to work with solo professionals who are at their desk and working. It doesn't have to be all day long, but I've found that people who are owners of small businesses and they're driving a truck delivering things all day are not a good fit. A couple of others are real estate agents. While I love them, love them, they're not always a good fit for my business because a lot of what it takes for me to support them is some back and forth. And if they're not routinely at their desk, it's hard for us to get momentum. Now, these are my red flags. You're going to have your whole, different own set of red flags. And how I suggest that you make them is when a situation comes up that is not ideal for you, just jot it down. That's what I did. I just kept track. And that's how I came up with the one about people who don't work at a desk. I didn't come out of the gate with that. After a while, I just kept thinking, I don't think I helped them as much as I wanted to. And then I started to see the trend, and then I realized, oh, they're not working at a desk. So look at the things, that are in your life that are red flags. And also when you have a client that leaves or a client that you decide that you're going to fire, look back, because I promise red flags were there and you just weren't aware of them or weren't listening to them, for lots of reasons. We all do it. So please take some time and think about your red flag list for avoiding the wrong clients so that you can get the clients that you want to work with and the clients that you deserve. So before we leave, I just want to take a minute and invite you over to my free online classroom. It's called the Virtual Assistant Connection, and you can find us on Facebook by typing the Virtual Assistant Connection in the search bar at the top. We have a huge community. There's over 9,000 people, all either VAs or thinking about becoming a VA. It's growing quickly, and there's tons and tons of information just like this over there available for you at your fingertips. We're streaming right now across Facebook, Periscope, and YouTube. And so if you're on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel so you'll be notified when we go live again. This is Belinda Wasser, Rocket Girl, signing off. Until next time, bye-bye.